I'm gonna say this straight up, because I don't know how else to say it without sounding insane, but my ex-girlfriend is still obsessed with me, and the scary part isn't the messages or the drama, it's the feeling that no matter what I do, she's somehow still there, like she never actually left my life, like the breakup didn't end anything and just unlocked a new version of her that I didn't know existed. Because when we broke up, I thought it would be quiet, awkward, sad, maybe, but normal. And instead, it felt like something snapped, like a switch flipped in her head, and suddenly everything I did mattered way too much. Because the first day after the breakup, I noticed she watched my story within seconds of me posting it. And I didn't think much of it at first, but then it happened again, and again, and again. And every single time it was instant, like she was refreshing my page, just waiting, and then the messages started, not angry, not sad, just weirdly calm, like nothing had changed. Like she was pretending we were still together, asking what I was doing, who I was with, why I didn't reply fast enough. And when I didn't answer, she didn't get mad. She just sent more and more and more, long texts mixed with voice notes saying she missed me, saying she knew we'd end up together again, saying she could feel it. And that's when I got this uncomfortable feeling in my chest. Because it didn't sound like someone missing their ex. It sounded like someone who decided the breakup wasn't real. So I blocked her, thinking that would be the end of it. But instead, it was like I unlocked a harder level. Because suddenly there were new accounts watching me, no profile pictures, random usernames, all viewing my stories, and every time I blocked one, another appeared. And then my friends started asking me questions like, why is your ex asking about you so much? And why does she keep saying you're coming back? And I laughed it off at first, but deep down, it started messing with me because I hadn't spoken to her at all. Yet she was still building this whole story about me in her head. Like I was still part of her life whether I wanted to be or not, and then things got more personal, because she started posting things that felt aimed directly at me, captions that only I would understand, pictures from places we went together. Inside jokes turned into public posts, and every time I saw one, it felt like she was tapping on the glass, like, hey, I'm still here. And the worst part was when she'd post something sad, and people would message me asking if I was okay, like somehow I was responsible for her emotions even after the relationship ended. And that's when I realized obsession isn't loud all the time. Sometimes it's quiet and calculated because she never said my name. She never tagged me. But somehow everyone knew it was about me. And then the fake messages started, random numbers texting me, acting friendly at first, asking normal questions, then slowly sliding into stuff only she would say, and I'd get this chill when I realized who it was, because it felt like she was testing me, seeing if she could still get access to me without me knowing. And when I stopped responding completely, that's when the tone shifted. Because her posts went from loving to angry, from I miss you to people always leave when they're jealous of your growth. Like she was rewriting the breakup to protect her ego, and that's when I started feeling watched. Not in a horror movie way, but in a modern way, like everything I did online was being monitored. Like if I posted something happy, she'd post something sad. If I disappeared, she'd suddenly reappear. And it got to the point where I stopped sharing things, stopped posting, stopped talking publicly, because I didn't want to feed whatever this was. And that's the part people don't talk about. How obsession makes your world smaller, how it turns normal things into stress, how you start checking who viewed your story before enjoying the moment, and then one night someone sent me a screenshot of her saying she knew I'd come back because we're connected. And that word stuck with me. Because connection sounds romantic until you realize it's one-sided. And that's when it got scary. Not because she was threatening me, but because she genuinely believed the relationship still existed in some form. And you can't reason with someone who believes something that strongly. And then she went quiet. Completely quiet. No posts, no views, no messages, and everyone thinks that's the good ending. But that silence was worse than anything else, because obsession doesn't just disappear, it waits. And every time my phone buzzed, I felt it. Every time a new account followed me, I felt it. Every time someone mentioned her name, my stomach dropped because I didn't know if she was finally moving on or just planning her next move. And that kind of uncertainty messes with your head, especially when you're young and you've never dealt with anything like this before, because it makes you question everything. Like, was the relationship ever normal? Did I miss the signs? Was she always like this, or did I cause it? And then you realize that thinking like that is exactly what keeps the obsession alive, because it keeps her in your head. And the scariest part of all of this isn't that she was obsessed with me. It's that for a moment, she almost pulled me back in, not because I loved her, but because I felt guilty, because she made herself look fragile and broken and alone. And teens especially fall for that, because we're taught that caring means sacrificing your comfort. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Someone being obsessed with you is not cute. It's not romantic. It's not loyalty. It's someone refusing to respect your boundaries, someone refusing to accept reality, and someone who thinks their feelings matter more than your peace. And even now, I don't know if this is fully over. I don't know if she still checks my page from time to time. I don't know if she still talks about me when I'm not around, and honestly, I don't want to know. Because the lesson here isn't about her. It's about recognizing when something crosses the line, when attention turns into fixation, when love turns into control. And if you're watching this and something about this story feels familiar, if someone won't let you go, won't respect silence, won't stop inserting themselves into your life after it's over, that's not love, that's obsession. And obsession doesn't need you to respond to survive. It just needs access. And the moment you take that access away, it gets uncomfortable, quiet, and unpredictable. And that's why this story isn't funny. It's not a joke. It's not drama. It's a reminder that not everyone handles endings the same way, and sometimes the scariest thing isn't someone screaming at you. It's someone calmly deciding that you still belong to them. And this is where it ends, but also where it really begins. Because the scariest part of this whole story isn't the late-night messages or the footsteps behind you or the way your phone lights up when you swear you blocked her everywhere. It's the realization that obsession doesn't disappear just because you want it to. It fades slowly, it lurks, it waits for moments when you feel safe again. And that's why this story matters. Not to scare you into paranoia, but to remind you to trust your instincts. Because if something feels off, it probably is. And if someone crosses boundaries once, they'll do it again, just louder, just closer, just more unhinged. And yeah, maybe this sounds dramatic, but that's exactly how it starts. Small, laughable, no big deal. Until it isn't funny anymore, and you're looking over your shoulder wondering how things spiraled this far. So let this be the lesson. Not every intense person is passionate. Not every jealous text is love. Not every apology means change. Sometimes it's a warning sign wrapped in a heart emoji, and if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, don't try to be the hero. Don't try to fix them. Don't romanticize chaos. Protect your peace. Tell someone you trust. Cut it off early because the internet loves crazy stories. But real life doesn't have a pause button, and some people don't want closure, they want control, and once you understand that, you stop running in circles and start running forward, away from the drama, away from the fear, and straight into a future where you don't have to panic every time your phone vibrates, and that's the real escape ending. Not the chase, not the screams, but the moment you finally choose yourself and don't look back.